Hello everybody, it's time for the Drunken Man tutorial, the Demoman! And let's start with a disclaimer. This class has many different ways to be played, so the scope can vary. As a generalist guy, I'll focus the playstyle worthful the most, in my opinion, giving just some why not for the others. I'm speaking mostly about the full Demoknight. With this in mind, let's begin with the Demoman's role, the main one. That's, for me, when he is keeping a sticky launcher, the stock, or the Scottish resistance. I'll call this role the sticky trap enabled demo. Given the nature of this secondaries, Demoman offers one of the highest place damage of all. A damage all concentrated in one time, that is, when the sticky trap detonates. The one-click kill whole nature of traps allows him to be called one of the best Uber medics counters, together with a sniper maybe, or a spy sometimes. So far, whenever a wave with Uber medics is in, one should expect a Demoman or a sniper or a spy at least be part of the team to make things easier. That's called the medic picker role. And often, Demoman is preferred against the other two classes because simply it's considered more reliable, even with not the extraordinary skills that a sniper or a spy should really have. But Uber medic skill isn't the only use of the class. For example, stickies with their huge splash damage are perfect for crowd control against the mobs of small robots. And despite not being the best job of a Demoman, he's surely a better suited tank destroyer than the other medic picker classes, the sniper of the spy for sure. And please don't forget that once full damage upgraded, a Scottish Resistance 14 laid down sticky trap can easily destroy giant medics and patient at the same time with a single click. Here you can see some footage coming from my friend Noob Gaming. The other possible roles of a Demoman I spoke of before can be called the Grenade Demoknight and the full Demoknight with no other weapons other than his sword. To my eyes, they simply shut the peculiarity of the class, the chance of freezing up huge blast damage, tons of concentrated damage. In my opinion, a Demoman using grenades isn't that different from a soldier. Yes, grenade launcher has not damage fall-off at direct impact, but that can be smoothed with a soldier with the rocket specialist upgrade that I buy as first anyway. And a soldier is not that selfish, it can help the team with a banner. Any type of banner helps the team with speed and health of the Conqueror or mini-Chris of the buff banner. So all in all, the Grenade Demoknight is viable. It can be refreshing for expert tours people, but nothing more than that. And forget being able to shut down Uber medics reliably with your pills. You can kill one with direct damage, but splash damage pops the rest of the medics, so don't count on it. And about full Demoknight, it's even worse, because it lacks any explosive weapon. You become a 1 versus 1 killer only, while with other rollouts you could kill many at once. Sure, you can buy crit and kill on your sword and do your own, but that's applicable only in easy mission with lots of small robots to kill one after the other, not those full of giants who feels the more advanced ones. You know what? The only part where a knight surpasses a stock Demoman is tank busting, because upgraded fast swinging sword can dish tons of damage versus the tank. But at this point, I'd argue, why wouldn't you be a pyro then? The best versus the tank, with fewer upgrades needed, and the best close quarters attackers versus mobs of small robots as well. And do you know why I think the pyro is the best at close quarters versus mobs instead of a knight? Because the pyro can ignite loads at the same time. The Demoman can hit one at a time. Let's discuss the subclass of the Demoknight once Valve may had an explosive headcut maybe, but not before. Now, while we are watching a footage coming from my friend Puata and keeping what I've said in mind, I won't discuss in this video the shields in the secondary slot. Maybe I'll dedicate a special focus video for those. But now let's focus on sticky launchers and how we can choose among them. Let's start with the stock. It's a good all-rounder, perfect for who likes pushing and attacking more. That's all because of the reduced arm time. It gives more flexibility when attacking. With max reload upgrade, you won't fear any low-ranged attacks almost. Air bombing for the win. In all honesty, to whom starts playing MvM as a demo, as a beginner, it's the weapon I would suggest most. You can use it for both planning traps and direct defense versus robots all nearby you. Once slightly upgraded, it becomes so flexible with its air bombing that you can't even dismiss your grenade launcher and go for boot this time for higher HP. Your upgrade shall be put only in your secondary, never the primary, anyway. Now, another footage coming from new gaming friend that show you how awesome can be planning sticky traps with the Scottish resistance. This bad boy calls for a less direct fight because of the longer arm time and favors a pre-planned strategy where it really shines. If you already know what to expect from a wave, you can take credit from every of the 14 stickies you can plant well before round starts. With this weapon you can detonate only stickies you are aiming, and Robot takes almost the same path every time. That's delicious. As cons, the fact that you often set up your traps way before they actually are needed requires often you go with a nade launching. So seldom you can see Beauty's Scottish Resistance Demoman. And be able to see him behind cover is also very useful. Look here, how planting the 14 stickies in groups prepares little traps for different scenarios. Super Scouts here can choose different paths, so you are ready for anything. As I told you, provided you know the wave stream of bots, you can plant traps here and there. The perfect defending weapon, area denial at its best. Here, the strategy of new gaming seems to be keeping some stickies always on the bomb. And as I've told you, full damage 14 sticky trap can defeat a giant medic with no problem, with just one click. Easy peasy.
I'm giving you a bonus.
Now a couple hints for the Scottish resistance applicable to the stock sticky launcher as well. First, even if someone else has popped Uber medics already, sticky spam can be useful, because the blast can divide medics from patients, even when invulnerable. Second, but very important, if you have a continuous stream of small robots and a full trap, you better add other stickies with mouse 1 instead of detonating all with mouse 2, that's useless. I'm sure you know, but by adding the next sticky, the first of the bunch will explode, thus you can control up to 14 crit stickies, one by one. When major threats income instead, a single mouse 2 and all the trap will detonate, the case of giant plus Uber medics for example. When I spoke about the sticky trap enabled Demoman, I didn't call for the quickie bomb launcher, and I won't provide footage for this trap as well. The reason? It's because the stickies vanish in 2 seconds and can be used for traps. At this point, it's better nade launching. No damage fall off is king, at least. Now, time to speak about the primaries, considering that you won't be using that much, in my opinion, and aren't worth any upgrade. Depending on your play style, they can be a bunch. The booties, where you go sticky launcher and want the most HP possible, or any type of grenade launchers, or the parachute, the base jumper. Okay, let's speak about the booties. I'm okay with people going booties with the sticky launcher. You'll put your cash in the sticky launcher anyway, so you better use it 99% of the time. Thus the primary just becomes a 55 HP bonus. But with the Scottish resistance, I simply don't recommend booties, because a grenade launcher better pairs the close quarter inefficiencies of the Scores. And as already said, I don't recommend booties for a full Demonite loadout. It can be fun, but Demonite isn't enough for advanced plus missions, in my opinion, with lots of giants. A pyro would fit better. Maybe I may work on a specific video for that, I already told you, but for the moment let's pass. But if you feel better keeping a nade launcher as a primary, I'm totally okay. Just, I don't think it's the weapon you should invest cash into. So in the end, I'm perfectly fine with grenade launcher and Scottish resistance together, provided your primary fills just the gaps between 2 trap setups. In this footage, you can see me with a grenade launcher and a shield instead. But that's because of a reason. This is wave 666, few medics around. There is plenty of cash, it can smooth inefficient strategy. I like subpar loadout sometimes. If I had gone back as plus banner soldier, I'd have been more credit to the team maybe, easily dishing the same damage output, or likely even more. And about the other alternatives grenade launchers, for example the loose cannon, what I've said for the stock applies to the loose cannon itself. It's a perfect side grade. A very good news is that it won't bounce against the tank, it explodes on impact and deals a pretty good damage too. And with its knockoff, it can save your butt bouncing away robots on the hatch maybe. I like it. And again, who prefers the Iron Bomber? It's a perfect side grade of the stock as well. So all in all, pick whatever you feel more comfortable with. But you remember that those primaries are suited for in case of emergency situation or as a filler. Your best MvM role as a Demoman is still sticky trapping. That doesn't mean you can do otherwise, but to my eyes you are mimicking a better suited class for the other situation, like a Beggars Bazooka Soldier for example, while you go grenade launching. Now time for the lock and load. Despite being an overpowered weapon in the stock TF2, it does not shine really well in MvM. Its inferior splash damage is bad against mobs, and the 2 small clip sights requires cash to upgrade. I just see it useful in later waves after refound, when cash isn't a problem, only for trying something different. but sticky launching is still a better playstyle for me. Fully upgraded lock and load is quite a beast against tanks. You can enjoy it in Hammer and Fast Wave if you are bored to be a pyro. Last but not least, the parachute, the base jumper. My suggestion? Don't use it for MvM. Slow flying in a game where the enemy, the robots, have perfect aimbot, it doesn't seem a good tactic. Explosive weapons or more HP are far better suited in my opinion. Now about melee, you hardly use it. The only valuable ones could be the stock bottle and its reskin, the frying pan, the ham, whatever. Or the Highlander. But I'm not saying you go Demonite, mind you. It's just to pick some heads from small bad scout here and there, without the shield, sticky launchers for the win. I repeat, I still don't really recommend trying the sword plus shield thing in Mann-Up. I'll focus on that in the future. That's why I simply won't speak about the other swords here. The Clydam or the Persian Persuader, they don't have a place here. And the Hula Pool Caber, MvM lacks cabinet at spawn, so it's even worse than stock TF2 playing. One use, one death. Or you need to buy something at upgrade station to recharge. Not the greatest idea. All in all, provided you don't touch the paint train, totally useless in a defensive scenario, you should survive with anything else really. Now, before following the upgrade path section, just fast forward on the whole Demoman's arsenal at their stats. Those are the primaries. And those are the secondaries. And I didn't spoke about the sticky jumper for obvious reason. Fun fact, max damage upgrade to the jumper is still 0. You won't hurt anyone. And those are the melees. Just worth noting, a hidden attribute of the Persian Persuader, you can't refill your ammo with ammo crates. It's for full Demonite only, you better leave it alone. And Skull Cutter slow you down, no thank you. And Clydamore, its pro, are useless without a shield. So, time for an upgrade path section. That is, time to look at a proficient upgrade path. A possible one, not the only one. Keep in mind that I'll suggest that for the Sticky Trap Demoman subclass. Nothing with a shield, that is. The one most distinguishing from other classes. The soldier or pyro, I tell you. Now, look at the normal rate of fire of a sticky launcher and upgraded, and its reload time when clip's empty. It takes a good chunk of time of reloading. Now, look at the fire rate of a maxed out sticky launcher. This way you start defending yourself better. It's such fast wing bombing. Still, the reload time cripples it a lot. That's what happens with max reload speed. One second, and your clip is being filled again. It's another weapon entirely. So to sum up, if the mission you are playing has lots of cash, rise fire and reload speed. You don't need to max out at first wave, of course, but rise progressively, as up. If scarce in cash, like the expert mission with 400 cash, I would pick one firing speed and one elsewhere, maybe HP on kill likely. Your mileage may vary. After those two upgrades, HP on kill is one of the most recommended, and it does what it says. Even if you have a medic, I recommend to spend 1 point here. It's almost mandatory to put 1 or more, if not. With a medic anyway, you can buy it later. But remember that real men should practice MvM without medics. Now time for the damage upgrade that come next. If you are really good at hiding, and your main job is killing giants ASAP with the Scottish resistance, you may pick damage sooner than the reload, fire, HP on kill things. Less likely it happens with the stock sticky launcher though. And to be clear, remember, I'm not saying you should max out the first upgrade I told you and then the second and so on. You should rise all those upgrades more than others, but progressively. And while HP on kill can stay at 1 or 2 point maximum, fire, reload, damage are candidates to get a max tick as soon as possible for your convenience and efficiency. Fun fact, damage upgrade does not inflict more self-damage to you, likely. The ammo capacity upgrade is situational instead. The more you are spammy, the more you require it maybe, especially with the stock sticky that has a smaller magazine. Then, as the mission progresses, you'll buy resistances, especially if going sticky in the open field, less if acting as a hiding Scottish resistance guy. It's all up to you. Obviously all coordinated with what the waves requires, bullets, blast, crit, etc. And fire resistances as a very low priority upgrade, always. Oh, have you noted that blast resistance helps tower your self-blast damage as well? It's like a gunboats for the demo finally. We have discussed the upgrades for the stock sticky launcher in mind. If you go Scottish resistance instead, there are some minor differences that come in mind. Because the Scorers has already a faster firing speed, thus upgrade is just 1 point, and maybe not really required at first wave. Listen the chime sound of me pressing mouse 2 too early after the fire. In fact, problem with the Scorers isn't firing speed, but it's longer arm time than the stock. Mouse 2 does not trigger immediately. You have to wait a bit more. Another thing to note is the ready-to-explode stickies become full red glowing when you aim to them, signaling they'll pass the arm time. And I'm sure you know that keeping mouse 2 pressed while swinging over detonates them whole. The only exception of aim detonation are stickies beneath your feet. They explode even without eye contact to let you jump. Okay, after this parenthesis and being reload the same as stock launcher, reload speed is one of the most needed for the Scorers as soon as possible, because filling 14 clip isn't a joke, and 14 stickies out is awesome. This weapon is really made up for strong defense, like MvM requires. And as I told you, you can use the tactic of adding more stickies in order to detonate the oldest one by one. Back to the upgrade station. Generally speaking, who goes Scottish resistance stay a bit more covered than with stock. That means he can rank up damage sooner than health on kill or resistances or max reload or firing. Damage is the key for some Scottish resistance veterans. Instead, a totally useless upgrade is the clip increase. You can deploy on ground more than 14 stickies anyway. At 15 the first will explode. Okay guys, that should be enough for the moment, since I purposely will postpone any discussion about Demoknight in a future video. Demoman class should be kept as much demolition man as possible to my eyes, hence you should equip most of these explosive weapons to truly differentiate it for the other classes. That doesn't mean you can go grid and launching demo or full Demomanite, but I try to explain my point of view in the whole video. Primary only Demoman feels too much like a rocket specialist soldier, clipping your potential of trapping your medics. Melee Holy transforms you in a close-quarter god, but that's valid only against robots that die fast, and you won't feel much different from a backburner or Flockfire. Hope you see my point. You can't agree, maybe, but that's what I think of the class, and what he should be in any advanced and more Mann-Up tool. And I'll do a request. If you have some proof of full Demoknight effective play in an advanced or expert Mann-Up mission, why don't you pack and send me a link of your damn file? It could be the right occasion to have your action being used for a tutorial for that subclass in this channel. Damn file only guys, please, no large encoded videos. So far, given all the time it required to me making this video, I hope really you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching.